Good morning, Vande Mataram. Welcome all of you. So this morning we are going to have a very interesting topic, very good topic, that is on quarreling among each other. That's what we normally do. It is everybody's problem. It is the universal problem. It is the country's problem. It is trade problem. It is a home problem, and it is, of course, there is a problem between inside and outside everything. It is a day-to-day activity, and it is almost everybody is preoccupied with all these odds and all sorts of problems here that we face in ordinary life in our daily and daily surroundings we see. So the question is that why really we quarrel. So there is, if you put this question to the intellectuals or somebody else, they will answer you in various manner. They will see this is the Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga, when we are in the midst of Kali Yuga, so naturally the problem is that Kali means we have to quarrel. That Kali Kalaha is the prime condition. That is what it has to happen. So it is happening. And second question, if you ask somebody why you are quarreling, then they will be in a interesting position. Suppose one husband or wife, they will feel we are staying in a very single, in a very limited, with our limited capacity and in our narrow surroundings. So when two pictures are kept, when two steel pictures or something like kept nearby, so naturally there is a tendency they will come closer and they will have a quarrel, a tussle, a strife. That is natural. Maybe it is out of love. So there is no solution to this problem. Once I asked one people, somebody I asked, belongs to our community, means a spiritual, no, intending to be spiritualized. I mean our study circle person. One lady. I asked madam, why you are Appa or madam or whatever sister, why are you involved in this unnecessary quarrel and all? What is not required? She told, okay, absolutely whatever you are saying, asking is right. There is no really real necessity. But thing is that I want to know, I want to, of course, measure, and I want to be sure whether my husband is within my clutch or he has exceeded. So I want to put everything in my own hands. I want to centralize so that he will be like a dumbbound person, and as usual, he will be under my clutch. He will move nowhere else. So this is the tendency. These are the tendencies. Somebody I asked, why are you involved in this quarreling and all? They told, actually everybody is doing, so I am doing. There is no meaning why everybody is doing and you are doing. They don't know, they are ignorant, and of course you are aware of something. You are not that much unconscious, so you are doing. Again, I felt, why are you doing this quarreling? And this is the part of life. Means as love is one part, and like this quarreling among ourselves is also a part. That is a part of our life. Love. It is in our hidden agenda. And sometimes I felt, I asked somebody, you are a beautiful couple, your life is very smooth. Still, then you feel I feel you are quarreling. Yes, that is not our quarreling, because people staying outside, they may be jealous of our love. So we are trying to express that we are quarreling among ourselves. So these are the question, and you see when quali enter into the arena of the into the at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, when Yudhishthira was the king, then he could found that that story when Kali started. Actually, one Brahman's property, it was purchased by a farmer. He was actually trying to farm, plowing his field. On all at a sudden, he found his actually it is something is struck to the his instrument. So plowing instrument, that langar. So when it happened, actually, really, then he dug the hole and found a pitcher full of gold. Now the problem is that who will belong to to whom this pitcher full of gold will belong. Naturally, the owner was the Brahmin. He was supposed to take. He has not sold. He has sold you the property, but not the pitcher full of gold. And the second thing, this man who is actually farming or a farmer, actually he has purchased. This is now the land belongs to him. So whatever is there, it is everything is coming under possession. This matter was actually forwarded. It was actually discussed and went to the court of the king. And at that time result may be anything, but thing is that Yudhishthira feels that to arena of Satya Yuga, that Satya Yuga, that time, the period is over now itself, everything is coming under the Kali. So that time you are involved in we are in Kali Yuga, midst of Kali Yuga, and we feel Kali has just entered in, and this thing, this we have to, this is our almost inborn activity to quarrel among ourselves. But we'll know that the Kali, even Kali Yuga, that is also that time is over, its possession is over, its rule is over. Now itself we are in a supramental age of truth, Satya Yuga. Supramental, Atimanasa Satya Yuga, supramental truth age we are right now, we are here. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are breathing the air, whatever the air we are breathing, that is actually supramental air. So now we will feel whether this Kali is required at all. So this is the question, and this is the topic of discussion right now, quarreling among ourselves. What Mother really expresses and Mother really tries to explain us. Beautiful topic. And Mother quotes initial, very in the first line, it is always wrong to quarrel. There is no other go. Mother clearly clarifies that it is always wrong to quarrel. Maybe you may show, you may displace, or you may console yourself with your in any region, that does not matter. But what really matters when you are in quarrel, that is a wrong attitude. It is always, not only once or twice, always wrong to quarrel, even if one is not an aggressor. You may claim, no, I am not aggressor. He has attacked me. He has scolded me. Just I have having some little bit remarks or reactions. Does not matter. Whenever there is a quarrel, so you, even if you are not the aggressor, even if you are the victim, still then you have reacted very politely. That also counts, because you are also involved there. So Mother's quotation like this: it is always wrong to quarrel, even if one is not the aggressor. Second, in the very next line, Mother quotes beautifully: when two persons quarrel, naturally, the quarrel between two persons, quarrel between two groups, quarrel between two states, quarrel between two countries, quarrel between the divided world 50-50, like this, something will be there. When two persons quarrel, always both are at wrong. You may claim, I have not done like this and that, he has attacked, he has quarreled, he was the first to tempt me. Nothing like this. Actually, you are leading the spiritual life, you know, but he does not know anything. So keeping silent, living silent, and of course praying the divine, that is the best attitude you could have done. In spite of everything, you have a little bit showed your resistance. Though that is the major problem with you. Third, here in the mother course, keep this attitude, and then how will be both are at wrong. I am not aggressor. I have given little bit of reaction. Still, then everything aggravated. So that does not mean. What will be my true attitude here? Keep this attitude. Never side with anybody or take up any personal quarrel. Never side with anybody nor take up any personal quarrel. Think only of the four things: divine peace, harmony, again light and happiness. Don't side with others, number one. Second principle, don't quarrel with others in a personal manner. Then what we have to do? Only thing you have to do, you have to remember, who are in the, of course, in spiritual track, they know the divine, they know the track, they know the mission. Think only of the divine peace, harmony, light and happiness, and become more and more purified and quiet instrument. When instead of taking anybody's side, instead of going for the personal quarrel or personal tussle, so what we have to do, you must be in contact, you must be think only of the divine peace, divine harmony, divine light and divine happiness, and become more and more they are these four, they are for purified and of course quiet instrument. That is the best idea, best attitude we can do, and it will be in many ways. It will be helpful to the your adventure in the divine path, and of course in the service to the divine. So again, before getting angry at the mistakes of others, very interesting. Before getting angry at the mistakes of the others, so to err is human. It is the tendency of human being to err from these errors and the failures and faults. They will try to rectify them and they will try to get rid of all these things and they will try to get better. So do better also. So before getting at the angry of mistake of others, one should always remember one's own mistakes. Seeing the mistakes, reacting the mistakes of other, it means that something is there. That's what it is. The mistake not with only with the person whom I am reacting or commenting or observing, but mainly this fault lies in ourselves. So whenever you feel the world is already blue or black, something we see, the world is not really black. The trees are not really black or red or something like this, but it is the black speck or red speck. That's what I have put on, for which this world seems to me like the black or red or blue like this. But the thing is that world is as usual. But in my eyes, I have put on the erroneous glass only, colored glass against your mother course, that is that one feels sad for the one's own faults. It is the everything is not lying with others. Sometimes we feel that we have done something wrong. We have created some, we have caused, we have made some faults. That one feels sad for one's own faults. Then this may, if necessary, be useful in strengthens one resolution to correct them. Oh, something is has been committed, some error has been created. You have committed some errors. So if once you feel that you have done, if you feel sad for this error that you have committed, so naturally what will be there? It will be useful to strengthen your resolution. The power of resolution to correct it, to rectify it. So it has got a great rewarding value again. But that one can be offended by others. Somebody may come, somebody may give you any offense, somebody may criticize you, somebody, so there you are reacting. But actually thing is that if somehow mother quotes here, if something somehow you are offended by the another's bad conduct, others are conducting and their bad conduct is affecting you and you are getting offended by that, others bad conduct, this is truly nothing to be done in the spiritual life and in the service of the divine. You have come here for to serve the divine. Second thing, you are here to lead the spiritual life. Your destiny is divine. Divine. So if you get offended by another's bad conducts, bad remarks, bad manner, everything, then actually that nothing to be done in spiritual life or service to the divine, because you know in the spiritual life they have got no permanent place. So you have to be in a go in a positive and a right attitude that divine is my goal. I am serving the divine, I am leading the spiritual life. So then what the hell, what other things will penetrate into life and it will disturb you again. A mother course of the four things. Number one is ill will, number two is jealousy, number three is quarrel and reproaches. Four things are there: ill will, jealousy, quarrels, and reproaches. These are the four things. One must sincerely be above all and reply with the benevolent smile to the bitterest words. People have used bitterest words against you. You are getting offended, and they try to put pressure on you. So, mother quotes the four things: ill will, jealousy, quarrel, and reproaches. One must sincerely be above all that. Above all that, these four things: ill will, jealousy, quarrels, and reproaches. Somebody, of course, definitely in spiritual line, must be above all that. And I replied with a benevolent smile. Even if it is coming to you, it is against you, it is actually attacking you, it is actually offending you. So you must reply with a benevolent smile to the bitterest words. And unless it is absolutely sure of himself and his reactions, it would be better, in general rule, mother course, to remain silent, to keep silent. So you know that example, Buddha was going, somebody actually tried to to spit in his face. So his disciples are angry, but Buddha says, "You just stop it," because he has his own way of expression. He is not getting the language, but his language, the way of spitting, it is the expression. It is the language for expression, and I can understand. So don't, nothing to worry. Now again, this manner, this thing, this politeness actually it haunted the people who are spitting. So he felt that I have committed the error I should not have committed, but actually for this long-term jealousy and rivalry of maybe of course, so it has been committed. So when Buddha is returning on that path, he is coming politely. He is actually sleeping at his feet and expressing that, "Excuse me, I have committed an error." Then also the disciples, they are little bit they can be they feel wonder how it happens within some a couple of hours, how it happened. Then Buddha feels this is also his expression, the language, but he can't find the language of his expression. You don't know, you can believe, but I can understand. So better to, in a general rule, to keep silent. Mother quotes finally, to be above offense or insult makes one truly great. Be above the offense or insult, for with which you will become truly great. So this is the quarrel. It has nothing to do with spiritual life. Whenever you feel you quarrel, it is your fault because you are involved. So thing is that we can aspire for the divine peace, light, harmony, and happiness. And again, whenever you feel that anger or something tempts, and you feel bad in others, means this is not the bad really in others, it is within you. Unless otherwise you have the capacity to change others, don't react. That is the thing. And of course, don't get offended or get insulted, because you are in the spiritual track and you are serving the divine. Ill will, jealousy, quarrels, and reproaches, these are not at all binding on the spiritual people. Unless otherwise you are very much silent, and very much sure of your reaction and your words. So better you, in general you rule, you keep silence. And finally mother feels and mother advises, above, be above offense and insult, which will make you great, spiritually great naturally. Vande Mataram.